And we're off. So the first thing Inu is going to be doing is the Klungo cutscene skip, which he's going to be using to skip the Klungo cutscene. By doing a backflip in kind of a specific spot, he landed too far on the front of the rock. What you do is you're basically jumping over a cutscene trigger that doesn't go all the way over to the wall. So if you can beak bust onto that little platform on the cliff, you can kind of recoil onto the other side of the rock. But it looked like he underestimated how far he needed to go. So we did the Klungo cutscene skip instead. So now he's going into the Klungo 1 fight, the first boss of the run, and there's 3 different potions that Klungo can throw. There's a green one which makes him invisible, a blue one which makes him split up into clones, and a red one which makes him really big. And on the North American version of the game, or the N64 version of the game, they're all random. So this could be any one of the 3. Green potion is a really safe start, and it's also a really fast start as well. So green potion he would have been wanting for a marathon. There's a very specific spot that you can stand in order to kind of shoot an egg and then just kind of make a run for the door. So it looks like he's doing the shot a little bit safe, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing because the Klungo potion blew up his first potion instead of the one that he pooped. So the 2 extra eggs were needed to hit him. And it looks like he moved into place just far enough back in order to get a kind of a push. If Klungo pushes you during the cutscene, it's just a little further less to walk. Banjo-Tooie did get a little bit of an HD remake, but only sort of. So Inu needs to grab some red feathers here. He's going to need them at the beginning of the game. Ooh, and Inu goes for the window jump. Ooh, and he makes it first try. Very nice jump off the window to grab the treble clef. He's going to need the notes, because the first world we enter is actually Glitter Gulch Mine, which is normally the second world. The main reason people don't speedrun the Xbox versions as much as the N64 versions is because when they ported the game to Xbox, they didn't map the L button to anything, which is required to skip text, a lot of the text in the game. Some you can only skip by just pressing B, but a lot of it you need to hold L and R and then press B. But because the L button doesn't do anything on Xbox, you can't actually skip any of the text boxes that normally require that. So this Jiggy from King Jingling is required to leave Jinjo Village, even though you can jump off the White House and make it out. But you do need to go through Bottles' house, because you need the Amazo Gaze goggles from Bottles' son in order to do the delayed cutscene warp later. So while Inu gets the goggles here and leaves Bottles' house, I can explain the Jinjo manipulation that he did at the beginning. So Tooie runners run their files on a manipulated Jinjo file. So there's 30 plus patterns that the Jinjos can be sorted into. There's 9 Jinjo families, each with 1 to 9 Jinjos in it, and they're all different colors. But in Mayhem Temple, the first level, there's 2 families you can get with a specific Jinjo pattern. So if you have the 1 Jinjo family and the 2 Jinjo families all together, then it's just 2 extra Jiggies you can get in the run. And so that's what we do for this. So in order to get to the first level, or second level, you need to do the plateau early jump, and that's what this was right here. It's just a beak bust that you can barely make in order to get up to plateau without grip grab from Mayhem Temple. And this was found by Captain Cole. You can beak bust into a sort of pixel perfect hole, and he actually got it really fast. And this lets you just enter the level without opening it. So the reason you want to go to Glitter Gulch Mine first is because in Mayhem Temple, there's a boulder with a flight pad underneath it. And using that flight pad, you can get into Jade Snake Grove without needing the Golden Goliath, which is a very long cutscene which requires Mumbo. You need to summon the Golden Goliath, and then you need to save and quit out of the file. So here with the speed shoes, he's going to be collecting a bunch of notes off these rocks, and then making it all the way to the waterfall passage. This looks like it'll probably be an 11 if he's fast. But just barely missed it. Banjo-Tooie is absurdly laggy. Ooh, he almost fell down. That would have been really bad. If you fall off this into the water below, there's really nothing you can do except to go back and do it again. If Banjo-Tooie had used the N64's expansion pack, it probably would have been way less laggy. So here he's just swimming. Just keep swimming. In this category, he's only going to need to collect 14 Jiggies, which is all he needs to open up Jolly Roger's Lagoon in order to learn Talon Torpedo. And so he can Talon Torpedo the boulder in Pine Grove and make it to Wasteland to learn Clockworks. And the only reason you need Clockworks is because you need Clockworks in the final boss fight. If someone could find a way to get to Wasteland early without needing Talon Torpedo and without using DCW, then that would probably be the the be-all end-all of 2E speedrunning. Yeah, there's a lot of levels that make the game really laggy. I mean, any percent isn't that bad because you don't go to any of those levels. 2E any percent only goes to the first 4 levels. So what he's doing with the detonator now is in fuel storage. Not only is he collecting a few more notes, because you need 315 notes to learn Clockwork Kazooie eggs, but by blowing open the boulders here in the fuel storage and letting the alien spacecraft kind of get through there, it helps set up the first part of DCW. So the delayed cutscene warp is, I guess it's easier to show later on when he's in Witchy World. Anyway, this is just the first part of delayed cutscene warp setup, which is the biggest glitch in 2E for sure. Glitter Gulch is not the worst for lag, no. The worst level for lag is probably Hellfire Peaks. So Enu needs one more Jiggy from this level. Well, more than one, but one more than he could get with just Banjo. So this Jiggy is usually gotten with Claw Clamber Boots, but by rubbing up against special walls and quickly jumping and then detonating really fast, you do something called detonator levitation, which is the rising that he just did against the wall there. And that was a very fast detonator levitation. Detonator levitation always gets a lot of people just because of how fast you have to push the buttons. And you only have 3 chances to get it, because detonating as the detonator loses you 1 health every time you do it. So if you fail the trick 3 times, you can't actually detonate with 1 health left. So you would have to kill yourself on an enemy. Inu missing the jump to the cliff.
本当はかっこよくくちばしキツツキで登りたかったんですけど、意外結構難しい。
I'm sorry, Mad Taz.
でここで教えてもらった
Detonator levitation, detonation levitation.
くちばしバスターの派生技みたいな感じで、くちばしバスターを溜めて発動するとドリルになって、下にある岩とかを破壊するように。
I mean, the game isn't laggy that much.
早速出番ですね、ここで。
Once you play it enough, you get used to it. But it definitely looks bad sometimes.
第2ステージの技なんで当然。これから第1ステージに行くんですけど、第1ステージで。
So he needs 2 more Jiggies from Glitter Gulch Mine. One of them is in the Power Hut basement. And the other one is over here in the Generator Cavern. And he's going to be doing a jump onto the ladder. Normally, in order to do Generator Cavern, you have to run all the way around Generator Cavern, lighting these generators to light up the way, and then go all the way to the top. But within range, there's this ladder that if you beak bust to, you can just barely make it onto the ladder. Definitely not the intended way to get up. And then just kind of peck into the Jiggy and fall down. And then in Power Hut Basement, he needs to do a jump onto a little lamp that you can barely see. I really hope he turned up the brightness on this TV, because Power Hut Basement without fire eggs is... Oh yeah, it looks fine. Yeah, jump from one lamp onto the other lamp, and there you go. Clap. So Inu's done in Glitter Gulch Mine now, so he's going to leave the level. And he's going to go to Pine Grove. But in order to get into Pine Grove, you have to shoot a fire egg switch. So he's going to learn fire eggs right now. But he doesn't have egg aim because he hasn't been to Mayhem Temple. So what he needs to do is he needs to climb a hill that's just to the side and shoot a fire egg from there. And it's a pretty easy shot. And it looks really cool. So he's coming up. He's grabbing some backup feathers just in case anything happens. Whoa, that was a weird egg shot. Wow, I can't believe he got that to work. With where he was standing and how he was swiveling around, I didn't think he was going to shoot his egg very straight, but oh my goodness. He clutched it out. And then from here, after grabbing these 2 note nests, he'll have 110 notes exactly, which is where he needs, or exactly what he needs to learn grenade eggs. Grenade eggs will allow him to get into a prison compound when he goes to Mayhem Temple, so that way he'll have access to even more Jiggies. So now that he's done collecting all this stuff in Glitter Gulch Mine, he's going to go open his first level. Now, you have enough Jiggies to open 2 levels worth of puzzles, but if you leave Jiggy Wiggy's temple and the door doesn't need to shut behind you, you don't get the cutscene of the door shutting. So what he's going to do is, instead of opening both levels, he's going to only open Mayhem Temple and then leave. And then he won't get the cutscene. And then when he comes back after going to Mayhem Temple, he'll have enough Jiggies to open Glitter Gulch Mine, Witchy World, and Jolly Roger's Lagoon. So the puzzles are all random. They all split up. It's just a fun way to open the levels. Much more fun than Banjo-Kazooie. But it's also really annoying because you can lose a lot of time to the later game puzzles. But you don't do them in this run, so it's not too bad. A 91 isn't bad. The best anyone's ever done on one of these puzzles is a 94. So 91, 92 is pretty average. It's okay, Stargazer. I won't say getting jiggy with it every time he collects a Jiggy. That just sounds unbearable.
開けてしまうと、パズルが足りない状態になると神殿が閉ざされてしまうんで、その閉ざされるムービーが
So
入る分若干遅くなってしまう。
in Mayhem Temple is actually a really fun level to do in the speedrun because it's the first really difficult part of the speedrun. There aren't many in the any percent, but first thing he's going to be doing is Jade Snake Grove early, which is pretty difficult for people to learn. It's a very tight beak bomb through the top of a crack in a door that he doesn't open. And then after that, he needs to do a bunch of flying sections, which are look really cool. And then after that, there's prison compound, which will he need to do pillars, the pillar jumps, as well as an RNG code to open up the prison compound door.
で第一ステージ早速、くちばしドリルの活躍のしどころですね。
So
ここに岩があるじゃないですか。あの岩を
So
本来は
because he got a build drill in the first level, he's able to build drill this rock without Golden Goliath. And now what he needs to do is fly towards the little black line on the side of the door. Press A once and we'll see if he can get it.
かかるんで結構短縮になってますね。でここ
Beautiful beak bomb.
隙間あるんで、こうやって羽ばたいて
You don't have a whole lot of time to react to that hole at the top of the door, so
水抜けられます。でここで尋常ですね。あれが尋常です。尋常厳選はここのためにやります。
but of course Inu did the
で本来
Inu did the slightly slower version of the trick where you don't beak bomb towards the door,
尋常っていうのは色があって、
but
色にこう集めなきゃい
it
けない。
doesn't save a whole lot more time.
今の白尋常は一人だけの
So he's learning grip grab. This will let him get the
でこの一人だけの場合は
swamp jiggy.
ムービーとこうやって感謝のジグソーのムービーが一緒に流れて
And now, as you see, the Jinjo behind him that he just collected was a white Jinjo. He knew that Jinjo was going to be white there because of his manipulated file. Ooh. And hopefully, yeah, the cat walked right in his way, so he had to take the long way around. So at this point, you normally wouldn't have grenade eggs, so you'd pick up the Jiggy from the snake at the top of the Aztec temple here, on top of Code Chamber, and then jump off to Death Warp. But what he can do here is grab the Jiggy and then Death Warp with grenade eggs. I didn't see him switch eggs. Oh, he did somewhere along the line. Thank goodness. I got too rattled watching him fall off the torch. Okay, so this is a cool part of the run if he does it right. He's got a beak bomb to pick up the Jinjo on top of the Dodgem Stadium over here, and then he's gonna go, and then he's gonna beak bomb up to the Jiggy at the top, and then he's gonna beak bomb directly down onto the Note Nest. Oh, that looks so cool. Well, unfortunately, he missed the Note Nest, so he had to do the dance with the Magi that's there, but he made it. And now we learn Egg Aim while collecting some notes. Mayhem Temple's notes are all pretty straightforward. The only note that's difficult in this route is the treble clef, but you can pick it up with the nice beak bomb he's going to be doing once he runs down to the bottom. So here he's just going to be collecting notes while walking down the level. No trick here, just movement in one direction with some jumping. Ooh, missed one. So here he's gonna beak bomb through this treble clef. Oh no, he fell! Oh no, that was a really bad fall. Okay, but instead of running down, he's just gonna run all the way back up. So a little bit of a tumble. Would this be run on emulator or N64? This run is done on an actual N64. Tooie doesn't emulate very well, so you could run it on emulator, but you'd have some problems. I mean, emulator just has some graphical problems, that's all. And sometimes it crashes. Oh my goodness, he had really good flies. Running Tooie on emulator is also, like, for if you're hoping to get a run on the leaderboard, Running Tooie on emulator is not allowed.
なんていうんですかね。いらないいらない。
He went back to collect the Jinjo, but he already got it. Emulator runs aren't allowed for the leaderboard because emulator doesn't emulate the lag very well.
ドラえもんの解説はいらないということで。
So there's 3 patterns to open up the prison compound here, and he
本
needs
当は
hopefully to get the right one here.
ステージにいる
Nope, first one didn't work, so now he's gonna go star, sun, star, moon,
教えて
moon.
もらうんですけど、あれ月々か。だから違うな。
Nope.
星太陽、星星だ。
Oh, he already
3
did
パ
this
ターン
code.
あって、
He needs to go sun, moon, star, moon, sun.
星星。ちょっと喋りながらと混乱するな。
Oh, no, okay, my bad. Moon, star, sun, star, star. There we go.
2つ目で当てました。
So second try code, I think.
で、これでネズミを助けて、
Yeah.
第2ステージの
So this part of the run kills a lot of speedruns because it's like you've made it past GGM, you've made it past the puzzle, you've made it past all the hard stuff in Mayhem Temple. Now you have a 1 in 3 chance of losing either 7 seconds or 14 seconds. Each code takes a little under, like around 6 seconds to put in.
柱があって、
Right.
本来は柱があって、
So now this next Jiggy is another kind of run killer for a lot of people.
階段
The pillar jumps are the pillars are normally gotten by underneath. There are some pillars that you can shake with a rat-a-tat.
柱に移して、ジグソーを取るんです
Ooh,
けど、
he slid off the boulder. Everyone's problem.
この柱
With
か
a
ら
well-timed jump, flap, and beak bust, you can make it from pillar to pillar.
これを使って一番高いところまで
Enu's got really good pillar jumps too. Oh my goodness. Yeah, good pillars. That was a really clean pillars. Aside from falling off the boulder right at the beginning,
忘れとかしてもこういうとこが決まればいいんです
that's a clap. That's a clap, everyone. Round of applause.
見栄えが大事なんで。
The last Jiggy he's going to be collecting in Mayhem Temple is just on the other side of the swamp here.
で、ここから先、沼の先に
And this right here is the only reason you learn grip grab in this run, is to grip grab across that little ledge. So pick up the Jiggy, and then he's gonna jump into the swamp and let the Dragunda fling him across the swamp, and then he's gonna take the warp pad back and leave the level.
これで第1ステージはおしまいですね。
So at this point, he has 14 Jiggies. He's done collecting Jiggies. There's no more Jiggy collection in the run.
再びパズルタイム。
So he's going to be opening Glitter Gulch Mine, Witchy World, and JRL right now. So now we have about 5 minutes
第4ステージまで
of
今回のあれ
5 minutes of puzzles going to happen here. Each of the puzzles is gonna take him around 10 to 15 seconds to do. And then there's like a 45-second cutscene.
パズルタイム特に
Did I say minutes? I meant seconds. 10 to 15
パ
seconds.
ズル攻略のコツとしては、まずはぼんやり全体を見てどこが散ったのかを把握して
Pretty okay puzzle RNG. An 85 puzzle.
できるだけ真ん中からやるって感じですかね。で、その入れたいパズルの近くに入れたいパズル
So yeah, this is the movie part of the run, where you just kind of kick back and think about the rest of what you're going to be doing. The rest of the run up until you jump into the water in JRL is pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot of tricks and traps or any sort of tech. It's just kind of straight movement. So if your movement is pretty good in this game, this is that relaxing part where you have to just breathe and just hope everything goes okay for the last little bit. Alright, so that was puzzle 1. Now we move on to the second one. Pretty decent puzzle split up, I'd say, for that one.
橋が多いな。
Ooh. Ooh, put in the piece, put in the piece. The Kojima part. Yeah, every good speedrun needs a nice long cutscene. I mean, this run is only like 45 minutes long, or a little more, or a little less. So I mean, it's not so imperative to need to get up and go use the washroom or something like that. But puzzles are great for that in the longer categories. Can you cook eggs during it? I mean, if you like throw some eggs in a bowl and microwave them, I guess. Crack all your eggs in a bowl, you throw them in the microwave, set the timer for like a minute. Okay, I haven't played any Metal Gear Solid game. Alright, here we go, the third and final puzzle. Ooh, that's a terrible split up. Sometimes you just get really bad RNG on your puzzle. That's why the puzzles are like everyone's favorite part of the speedrun. Because sometimes, depending on how the puzzles split up, you just lose time because there's no way you can do them fast. Enu's putting a lot of pieces in the wrong spot too. It just happens. Almost an hour with cutscenes involving cooking eggs. That's pretty crazy. Anyway, Enu's done with his puzzle now, so he's gonna reset out of this cutscene just because it's faster. Instead of leaving, Jiggy Wiggy's temple and then warping to Plateau, if you reset, you don't have to watch the rest of the cutscene of the level opening. And instead, you can just kind of watch the shorter intro cutscene and then run to the warp from Jinjo Village. Alright, so now he's gone to Pine Grove. Time to go to Witchy World. In Witchy World, there's not a whole lot of stuff to do. All there is you're just running around collecting notes, and you have to set up the other half of your DCW setup. So I guess now would be a good time to explain that while he's doing this. The delayed cutscene warp is a special wrong warp that you can do in this game, based on one of the cutscenes that you can watch. So to free the alien ship from Glitter Gulch Mine into Witchy World is a special cutscene that starts in Witchy World, it transitions to Glitter Gulch Mine, and then it goes back to Witchy World. It's the only cutscene in the game that has this sort of interaction with you and what's loaded. So we freed the alien ship from Glitter Gulch Mine earlier, so it's just waiting for one more switch to be pressed to come to Witchy World. So using the Amazo Gaze goggles, you can shoot a grenade from the top of the Dodgem Dome here and zoom in your camera in order to keep it loaded. Because if you didn't zoom in your camera like this, the egg would just go out of draw distance and nothing would happen. So when you zoom in, it hits the switch. So as you can see, the door opens and it suddenly transitions into Glitter Gulch Mine, which is in the fuel storage room. At this point, you just reset your console. So now there's something that's going on in the game's memory that wants to continue the cutscene. But in order to continue the cutscene, it needs to pick up from where it left off. So the next time you enter fuel storage, that room in Glitter Gulch Mine, the game will say, oh, you're back in fuel storage. There's a cutscene going on here. We need to finish that. So it'll finish the cutscene, and then normally when the cutscene ends, the game needs to put Banjo somewhere because it's loaded in another level. So what the game checks is, where were you last? Like, what was the last cutscene that was watched in memory? And normally, because if you were playing the game the usual way, the last cutscene you would have watched was the cutscene of the door opening in Witchy World. But now that you've interrupted that cutscene, you can choose to set whatever you want to that last cutscene spot. So before Enu goes back to fuel storage, he can load whatever cutscene he wants. And then when he goes back to fuel storage, the game will put Banjo in the 00 location on the map of that cutscene. So what he's going to do after learning the last couple moves is watch a cutscene from the boss menu on the main menu screen, and that's going to set up the rest of his DCW. So for now, he's just on his way to Jolly Roger's Lagoon, which is going to be a big Monka-S part of the run, because you need to walk by some rather unfriendly eels. He needs to jump over that question mark sign because he hasn't gotten any sign text. And if you step near a sign, normally Jamjars, explains, like, by the way, this is a sign, this is how you interact with it. And in every other category of the game, you get that sign text on purpose in order to cancel some damage. But in this category, you never do. And so if you ever get near that sign on the way in or out, that's just getting meme signed. Hey, Asmi. So, swimming is very slow in this game unless you talk to Royston in Spiral Mountain, but getting fast swimming is slow. Talking to Royston makes you swim twice as fast, and it also gives you a bunch of air bubbles. So, no, I'm not Japanese. Chili. So what he needs to do is swim around this octopus and around some eels without taking any damage. Alright, the octopus has been successfully passed. You have, from when you dive into the water, you have 1 minute to surface, because each of your air bubbles take 10 seconds. Each air bubble takes 10 seconds to get used up. Alright, good note pickup. That was the last note he needed from Jolly Rogers. And now he needs to swim up to the surface, and hopefully he doesn't get tagged. He is good. No eel shenanigans here. No, Chili, I'm not translating. That's Inu talking on the Japanese stream, and I'm just kind of talking over him. How rude, right? Alright, so Talon Torpedo has been learned, so Banjo just needs to die on the flame here. This will take him back to the entrance, and then he can just run out and go fight the second Klungo. Alright, he dodged the meme sign a second time, so we don't have to worry about that hilarity happening. Live translating the in-game text. Yeah, I'm the reason it's in English, not Japanese, of course. Yeah, twitch.tv/RTA in Japan is the Japanese stream. You can still hear it on this stream too, just not as loud. So now that he's Talon Torpedoed the boulder, he's inside the second digger tunnel, and this is where he's going to be fighting Klungo again. So he got a green potion on the first Klungo. He wants a blue potion this time because red potion has a very long has a very long animation tied to him. It's a much easier potion to fight against, but it's longer. And he's got blue potion. Good potion order for a marathon run. So if you hit a wrong clone, you have to go through this long, well, it's not really a long cutscene. He just like puts his shield back up and says, haha, you fought the wrong guy. Hello, new here. What's the world record for this category? Actually don't remember. I think it's 43:57. No, that was the world record before. Look at me not even knowing. 42:35, sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean 43:57. I meant 42:57, but it's 42:35. My bad. 42:35 by PG. Oh, thanks, Asmi. All right, so Klungo has been defeated. This is the last two sets of notes you need, and thank goodness notes are collected in fives in this game and not singles, otherwise it would take forever. So this is Clockwork Kazooie Eggs, the last move he's going to learn before saving and quitting. PG got 42:35 about 2 months ago. It's like the end of October. And then he switched to a different category. Were there any Jam Jars bonks? There were no Jam Jars bonks in this run. Jam Jar has a around 12% chance of bonking on every silo. So because he has nothing to do but fight the final boss, now we're going to the Hag 1 menu, and we're going to fight the final boss. And look at that, he's got a cart that only has the Klungos on it. So this cutscene that he's watching now is the only cutscene that's going to be played before he goes to enter fuel storage. So it's really long to have to watch this cutscene twice, but it's the only way he can get in without cheating. There is a cutscene he can watch to put himself in the room below where the fight happens, but the door is locked unless he has 70 Gs. Yes, PG has optimized any percent very, very well. Thank you for the wonderful statistic. Yeah, you learn more than 6 moves in any percent. I think you learn 14. I'm pretty sure it's 14. Anyway, he's finished watching his cutscene, and so now we're going to go back into the file after saving and quitting out. Every runner has definitely fought Hagwan inside the boss cutscene, at least once. I know I have. 168% chance of bonking. It's just terrible. Alright, so he's gone and entered GGM. Everything is all set up. And now we're about to see some magic. Poggers. It's 14, isn't it? Maybe not. Let's see, we got Fire Eggs, Grenade Eggs, Clockworks, Grip Grab, Egg Aim, Bill Drill, Split Up. I don't know what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm thinking no DCW. Split Up. And Yeah, I think I'm thinking of no DCW. No DCW is 14. There isn't even 14 moves like in the first 3 levels, or in the first 4 levels.
まだレーザーを一周避けます。
Alright, so Inu has to fight Hag. Oh my good. Oh, okay. He's just swagging
さあ
out.
スターの判断
Inu has to fight Hag 1 with only ice egg or fire eggs and grenade eggs.
ジャンプしておけば
So let's see if he does the quick shot. I think he does. Yep. If you shoot a fire egg and then immediately switch to grenade eggs while firing, or while always firing, you'll do this chain gun effect on your grenade eggs, which normally grenade eggs are the slowest eggs to shoot, other than clockworks, because you can only shoot one at a time. But this lets you shoot them like as fast as you could shoot fire eggs,
でこのクイズ今やってると思うんですけど
which is pretty crazy. Oh, it looks like he had to shoot a couple more. She didn't die in Kazooie. She fell off her tower and got trapped under a rock. She never died, though. She just tried to get out until she turned into a skeleton. I mean, her body was trapped underneath a giant rock, buried into the ground for 2 years, so her skin kind of just rotted away. Oh. Enu brought up his egg menu for that cycle, but he didn't shoot any grenades, so I think he dropped an input. She went on a diet. I mean, she's still fat, even though she's only a skeleton. Her sisters mentioned that.
爆弾エッグってめちゃくちゃ反動がでかいんで普通に打つとすごい遅いんですよね。でもこうやって間に
Alright, ooh, Inu missed. Oh, he still hit. He just used a lot of grenades there. So now that the mortar phases are over, he's just going to be collecting some more eggs. Basically, the hardest part of the fight is not dying at the end. Having to do the fight with fast with the egg strats you have is always fun. And a lot of new runners have a hard time fighting Hag 1 as it is. Hag 1 is not a very newbie-friendly boss, just because of you have to strafe, and you have to shoot, and you have to move all at the same time. Her hands look like mittens. I mean, all the look at Banjo's hands. Banjo's hands look the same anyway, too. Like everyone's hands just kind of look like mittens. Shoutouts to Mittens Hug. Yeah, what Mad Taz said. Fingers are an illusion. Oh no, Enu's a right battery boy. Blowing up the right battery first is taboo. There's some 2 Uggers, which are the name of the little green dudes that walk around. There's 2 Uggers that hang out inside the drill, and the way they move around makes it really difficult to get around them if you try and do the left battery second, because there's only 1 in there the first time, and then there's 2 in there the second time. Or maybe there's 2 in there both times. Either way, my memory is not so great on that kind of thing. Either way, it makes it really hard, so you might need to do some zigzagging unless he gets really lucky. He's having a great Hag 1. A lot of double cycles, and he's a little close to the drill for this last shot here. But other than that, his Hag 1 hasn't been bad. Unfortunately, not on PB pace. I saw Enu PB'd yesterday. Oh my goodness, he blew up his clockwork too far from the battery. Oh no, he's got. Oh, he's not going to try and shoot another one in. Enu definitely had time to shoot another clockwork into the battery hole, though. Too bad there's no not like Banjo in this chat. Everyone, not like this is fine. Not like this is fine for Enu. Yeah, Enu's PB I saw he got today or yesterday was a 45-10, so we're just passing that now. Oh, I think he thought he was gonna have to stop for the cutscene. Normally, you can blow up the batteries from a really long way away. But yeah, that was slightly too far. So now the battery's shut off. We're on a fight to the death. He only has 3 health left, so I really hope he either picks up a health or does the phases all right. If he gets trolled by the Uggers on the later end, dying would be the worst thing that happens. But I'm not going to commentators curse this, I swear. Ooh, here we go, the chain gun grenades. Alright, come on, Enu, you got this. Only 2 phases to go. We got 30 to 15, 15 to 1. Oh no, he got hit. The Ugger isn't anywhere in sight. Oh no, he needs to shoot one more grenade. Oh no, the Ugger's right there. Oh no, he needs health. Oh, I'm at the edge of my seat here. He needs to like dodge her bullet and pick up honeycombs. Oh my goodness. Okay, he's picking up health. He knows where the Uggers are at. Good. Pick up more. Okay, there you go. Okay, now he's good. He's not gonna die now. Okay, we're all good. 1 health left. And final shot time. You got a 46-59. Everyone clap. He didn't die. Clap emoji in chat right there. Good job, Enu. Oh, thank goodness he didn't die.
これからちょっとエンディング見せたいと思います。日本語版だと
Alright, Isla Hags has been saved. The life force gets returned to King Jingling in a cutscene that we skipped at the beginning. Unfortunately, the party is over too late and Bottles is alive again. We got there slightly too late. Definitely marathon run luck in this run though. The puzzles and of course the prison code always get you.
ではボトルズ初めて出てきましたね。こいつはオープニング中に死ぬキャラなんですけど、死んで開始時点で死体になってるんですけど、まあどうでもいいですね。前作万丈和井で音符。
Alright, so I don't think I have anything I don't think I have anything more left to say about the run now that it's over, so thanks for bringing me on to commentate. And if you like Banjo, join the community Discord and play some Banjo-Tooie. We love new runners. And next up on the schedule is Ratchet and Clank 3, so oh yeah, Banjo-Tooie Bingo if you guys like that. In February.
日本語版だとこの頭は、袋にかぶせられて若干配慮されてるんですけど、そのせいでグロいという。
And now look, we got Grunty's head being kicked around. In the Japanese version of this game, Grunty's head is like replaced by a bag. It's just a sack. Some nice censorship.
強積みしてようとも目玉は同じように落ちます。このように。どっちにしろグロいことに変わりないですね。
Yeah, there was some problems setting up the first run, I think, so it got pushed to like really late. Like an hour, almost 45 minutes behind. I think the La Mulana run was a little longer than it should have been too, but either way. Thanks, Enu. Oh, he's got a little banjo thing. Oh, rip the banjo thing. It fell off. All right, you guys, I'm out. Have a good night. Enjoy Ratchet and Clank 3.